I wanted to share my journey, kind of explaining where I've come from, the experiences that I've had that have led me to where I am today in my fitness journey. And hopefully this touches someone. That's my goal in everything that I do, is to be as open and vulnerable as possible in hopes that it connects and resonates with someone. So my story didn't start in 2014 when I began T25. It actually started when I was really, really little. I was raised on not the healthiest of foods. It's not a knock against my parents. It's just the way it was. I grew up on soda and fried food and potatoes and things like that. Actually, one of the things that we laugh about in my family is when I was about 4 years old, I couldn't walk up a flight of stairs without literally having to stop and catch my breath. I was so winded. It's funny now, but it's something that I definitely don't want to repeat with Kara. So that's, part of the why behind what I do. And, I was an athletic kid. I was involved in sports. I played softball most of my life. I was always on the field, travel teams, regular season. I was always out there. But I was also always a heavy kid too, because my nutrition wasn't where it needed to be. So that kind of helps me see that you can be as active as you want to be, but if you're not eating right, it doesn't matter. And that started very young. Fast forward to high school, I had a group of 2 other really close girlfriends, and I will never forget one day one of them saying that when 3 girls are friends, that one is the pretty one is the slutty one, and one is the funny one. I knew that she was the slutty one, and she would admit that. But I also knew that I was not the pretty one, that I was the funny one. And, that should be okay. But to a teenage girl, it wasn't. That was really hard for me to accept. And I remember starting then that I tried to, fit in and do things to make myself prettier. I would try to squeeze myself into pants that I had no business being in. And from anyone that's tried to do that, you know that when you do that, it makes you feel worse about yourself. I had curly, unruly hair, and I was teased relentlessly for it at school. And to this day, I still flat iron my hair because of it. So things like that have kind of stuck with me. And the weight just kind of continued to pack on. Not enough to the point where I couldn't function, but enough to where I felt miserable most of my life. And it wasn't until right before I got pregnant with Kara that I started to actually do something about it. I had tried before Hydroxycut, Garcinia Cambogia, like all these like fad things because I didn't want to put in the work, or I would put in the work and it would last for a couple of days, and that would be the end of it. So it wasn't until right before I got pregnant with Kara that I actually tried. And it was because we did a partner Biggest Loser at school. And I am fiercely competitive, and I will win when given a challenge. That's one thing that, I'm proudest most of myself, is that if you challenge me, I am going to rise to the challenge. So my partner and I, thank you, Kristen, went to the gym every day after school for at least an hour. And I went from about 182 pounds down to 164. And at that point, I thought that was the smallest I was ever going to see. And I'll tell you, I was so proud of that. I fit into a size 11 jeans, and that was a major deal. A couple months after that challenge, I got pregnant with Kara. And that's when kind of the postpartum started. I know postpartum is supposed to be after delivery. But when I found out I was pregnant with her, I was really upset because I just lost all the weight. And that was really hard for me to admit that I was angry about being pregnant when I know people who couldn't do it. So that kind of started, I think, my disconnection with her. So when she was born, I suffered really bad postpartum depression. I couldn't breastfeed. I just couldn't do it. that was a hard blow because my plan all along was, oh, that's how I'm going to lose the weight. Like, I'm going to get right back down to 164 because I'm going to breastfeed. And I knew I wanted, to do the best for her, and my body just wouldn't do it. So that was the first blow. And then I just wasn't able to calm her the way that her dad could, and I freaked out, and my life changed completely, and I'm a creature of habit, and it was really hard for me to deal with that. Everyone went back to their normal life, and I was stuck at home, and I was really resentful for it. And then when I did go back to work, I wasn't able to perform at the same level because it's hard to balance those things. And so I just kind of slipped deeper and deeper into resentment and anger. And I was actually prescribed meds in 2013, and I took them for a couple of months before I realized that the meds were just kind of pacifying the situation, that I still was really upset with myself and how I looked, and that until I fixed that, nothing else was going to change. So I stopped the meds. And it was still, like another 7 months before I decided to actually do something about the way I felt about how I looked and how I felt. Because taking naps and things like that are not me. I go all the time. I'm on the move always. And so feeling that way was really hard for me to accept. And so in February of 2014, two friends that I had worked with during college started posting about their journey with T25. And so I reached out to them, and they told me about it. And I was really excited, but at that point, I was still, really hard on myself for who I was, the mom that I wasn't, and how I'd kind of let everything in my life slip, and I wasn't performing the way I wanted to in any job that I had. So when I found out the price, I definitely didn't think I was worth it. And I definitely didn't think that I needed to sacrifice any more time away from care that I wasn't already giving her. So it took me another month to realize that if I couldn't be there for myself, then I definitely couldn't be there for her. And so that's when I finally decided to do it. And it was hard. It was really hard. I had to get up early, and I like my sleep. I had to get up really early. I had to fight through sore muscles and, my own negativity in my own brain about, why I couldn't do it, why I shouldn't do it, why it won't work. But then I lost those first 10 pounds, and I could compare my pictures, and I've never looked back. I still do it today. I still show Kara, not every day, because I like to do it before she gets up because it's dangerous. She tries to kill me by running around me. But I try to let her see that I do it and that I don't, dislike it, that I actually enjoy doing it. And we talk about healthy choices, and we talk about why, people are jogging down the road, and I try to keep it as positive as possible. So that's kind of where I've come from. So when you see me, and you see me post about, wanting to drink soda or wanting to eat a donut, and you're like, just eat the donut. Know that I want to. I really want to. But I also know that I'm better for not doing it, and that what I'm doing now sets the groundwork for Kara. And I know how it feels to be where some of you are, and I don't want to be there anymore. So I just want you to know that when you see me and you think, well, what is she working out for every day? That there's a reason. I've felt all those things, and I still feel those things. I still have moments where I feel like that 16-year-old girl, or I feel like, my May 2000 or March 2014 self. But I just want you to know that you are worth it, and it is going to be hard, but that I can relate to you every step of the way.